Hey guys, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Zoe and I'm so happy that you clicked on today's video. So I just want to say, I don't know if this is my first video that I'm posting back. I've filmed a couple, but if it is, either way. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I have missed you guys so much. My posting hiatus was definitely not intentional. I've just been super busy with work, and I've just been kind of swamped with the holiday season, so I haven't really had time to put into YouTube or Instagram lately, and it's honestly heartbreaking. But we're here today, we're changing that. I'm gonna try to start posting regularly again because I miss it so much, and doing YouTube brings me so much happiness. So, as you can tell from the title of this video, today we are doing a long overdue video, one that I have been excited to do because I have some books that I'm ready to talk about. We're doing my November wrap up and December/holiday TBR today. As per usual, my TBR is far longer than it should be. I'm never gonna get to all these books. And then my wrap up is a little shorter this month. I definitely had a slower reading month in November. I think it might have been the least amount of books I've read any month this year, maybe second least, I'm not sure, somewhere in there. But that's okay, you know, we don't always have perfect reading months. I can definitely say I blame my lack of reading in November on one book. Have a lot of feelings about it. We're gonna get into it. Don't you worry, I will update you on everything. So, with that being said, let's just start the video. So, obviously starting with my wrap up, I read 5 books in November, 4 books. 5 books in November. The first one being one that I was actually finishing from October, a pretty, you know, outdated one at this point because it is Christmas now, but The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. This is the interconnected standalone to the X-Hex, and I read this for Halloween, but then ended up taking longer to read it than I wanted to. But this is super cute. It's just like your typical like Halloween vibes romance. It's definitely giving like Halloween Town, but romance. It's set in a small town. You have witches and humans, and the witches are always getting up to some, you know, different hijinks. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. It's really cute. Nothing like life-changing, but I did have a good time with it, and I rated it 3 stars. Next, I went straight into a Christmassy book. I read an arc from an author that I love. I read If You Give a Grump a Holiday Wish List by Anne Einerson. Anne Einerson has quickly become one of my favorite authors this year. I've read every single one of her books as arcs, and I love them every time. But this one was a short little Christmas novella, kind of a workplace type of romance. The girl brings her boss home for the holidays to her family, and it's also fake dating, and it was just really cute and like the perfect length to get me in the Christmas spirit, while also being just a super quick and easy read. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. The cover is adorable, and if you're just looking for like a fun, quick holiday read, there you go. The next book I read was what took up the majority of my time in November. I think this took me like 3 weeks to read, which is insane. And I don't know the last time a book took me this long to read, especially one that I did not enjoy. But the book in question was one that many people read in November. We're talking about Iron Flame. So the highly anticipated sequel to Fourth Wing. Everybody was waiting months for it. I pre-ordered it back in June, I think. And I was so excited for it because, like, stunning. I enjoyed Fourth Wing. I thought it was going to be a good time. Boy, was I mistaken. I don't want to like sit here and talk bad about this book because, you know, the author did still put in hard work for it. This is, you know, she wrote the best book that she thought she could write. There are people out there who did enjoy it. I, however, was not one of them. I just did not, I want to say, I'll just tell you my thoughts, okay? Feel free to disagree. I hope I don't hurt your feelings, but I thought the writing was pretty terrible. I was not invested in the story at all. All the plot twists were completely unexciting to me. Like, nothing shocked me at all. Anything could have happened to any of these characters, and I would have felt absolutely no emotion. There was a big character death in the end. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to spoil it here. I literally did not care. Not in the slightest. I didn't care about the very end at all. Like, it was just so disappointing because I had been looking forward to this book all year long, and it was just not, it did not live up to the expectations. And I feel like there's a lot of controversial opinions online about whether it was good or bad. A lot of people liked it, but I've also talked to quite a few people who have the same feelings that I did and just didn't like it. And it's good to know that I'm not the only one, I will say that. So if you want my honest rating, if you like this book, maybe cover your ears for a second. I rated this book 1 star. It should have been DNF'd. The only reason I even finished this book was because I had the audiobook playing at 2.5 speed, which is crazy, but that was literally the only way. I should have DNF'd it, but I'm just stubborn. So those are my thoughts of Iron Flame. I did film a reading vlog. I probably will still post it because it was also like some release day fun stuff, but no, this just wasn't it. After that, I was completely frustrated with the fantasy genre. I was very angry at it. I felt like it put me in a reading slump and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I moved on to a much better genre for me. I read a romance, one that I have been saying I was going to read quite literally all year long. You might be proud of me for reading it. I know I am. I finally read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. And I'm so happy I finally did. Like, this has been so long awaited. I've said many times the reason that I had not read this book was because once I did, I would be out of Sarah Adams books to read. Like, I wouldn't have another new one to read until her new book came out. So I've been afraid, but it was time. I wanted to. November is football season. It's a football romance. And the rule book, the second book, is coming out next year. Like, it was just time. And I'm so happy I read this. It was so freaking cute. Like, in typical Sarah Adams fashion, like, it was just perfect. It was sunshine and rainbows and everything fluffy, and it just made me smile nonstop. I adore Nathan and Bree. I thought they were the cutest friends, the cutest couple. I loved the fake dating. Really, the only bad thing about this book was how long it took them to get together, because they should have been dating from page 1. And the end was so cute. I literally could not handle myself. I was just texting all my friends being like, look at how cute this book, it's adorable, I'm obsessed. So this was 4.5 stars only because of how long it took them to get together, but safe to say I loved it because it's Sarah Adams and we all knew that I would. And then the last book that I read in November was honestly a shock to me because I said I wasn't even really going to continue this series, or if I did it would take a while, but the audiobook became available to me. So I listened to it. This is actually the first time I'm holding the physical copy. I listened to ACOWAR, which is a shock if you know any of my thoughts on Achamoth, because I hated it. I did not enjoy Achamoth in the slightest, completely hated that experience, and it took me forever to get through. So I didn't think I would really continue with the series, at least not right away, but here we are. I read this one. I was scared because of my feelings for the second book, but also because this one's more like war and politics, which is not my thing at all, but I actually enjoyed it. Like, I wouldn't say this is like a life-changing book. I wouldn't say it's a favorite by any means, but like, I enjoyed my time reading it and like was kind of intrigued, kind of invested in the story. So I'm really glad that I listened to it / read it. And I think I'll read the next book now. Like, this was a very solid book and I'm shocked. So I gave this one 3.5 stars, which is so surprising to me. I'm sure it's surprising to some of you too. But yeah, I read ACOWAR and that was the last book that I read in November. Those were all the books that I read in November. Again, a very short reading month, but a good one. And now we are going to get into all the books that I want to read in December. Typically, I reserve December for all of my holiday romances. I basically just read those all month long, but I do have a few others that I kind of wanted to get to before the year's over, whether that be for comfort or they just seem like a good New Year's type of read. So I'm just gonna kind of fly through these. I don't even know what half of them are about. Just gonna show you all of them. So the first book I want to read in December is actually a reread that I am in the middle of from November. I want to finish rereading Love and Other Words. I've just been reading this one. It's so comforting and I've been annotating it and it's been such a good time. I just adore Macy and Elliot. The end is gonna break me because I know it did the first time, but it's just a good reread and it's making me feel really comforted. The next book is a new one that I have been anticipating all year long. We have Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I got this on Black Friday. I was so excited to see it at the store finally because so many people had been getting it and I was so jealous. So I picked it up immediately. I love Lynn Painter. I loved Better Than the Movies. I loved The Do-Over, and I've been waiting all year for this one, so I just know it's gonna be so cute. I've also heard there's a lot of Taylor Swift references in it, and I'm just really excited for it. I really, really want to read this before the end of the year. And yeah, I kind of wish that I had the regular version and not this like inverted color version that Barnes & Noble put out, but what can you do? The next one I want to read, I feel like would just be a really good one for like New Year's, because I am definitely that type of person who gets sappy around New Year's and is like, this is a new chapter, like new beginnings, you know, think about your life and be grateful. I don't know, I'm that type of person. So I want to read The Good Part by Sophie Cousins because this one is about a woman who just wants to skip to the good part of her life where like she's married, she has kids, she's settled down, and she's able to, but once she's there, she kind of realizes that she's missed out on all these little things that might have happened in the part of her life that she skipped. And I just think it's going to be one that's like really good to think about this time of year. I also love Sophie Cousins around New Year's because I read This Time Next Year around New Year's because it's a New Year's book. And so I feel like I just associate her with December and January. Next, we have The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. This is one that I've had on my TBR for a couple years. Like, I've had it on my bookshelf and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I don't know much about this one other than that it's about a woman who goes on 12 dates, 12 blind dates for Christmas time. And when I think about it, it makes me think of that old like ABC movie, The 12 Dates of Christmas. Is that what it's called? One second. It is, okay. So it makes me think of that old ABC movie, 12 Dates of Christmas, which makes sense, but like it seems like pretty much the same story, except this one's set in England. So I'm excited about that because I love any book set in a different country. Next, I have Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. This is another one that I've had sitting on my shelf for a couple of years, but I've just run out of time other Decembers to read it. And I know this author has put out like 2 other books since this one, but obviously I'm going to start with the first one. So I don't know anything about this one. Whenever I look at it, it makes me think of Nick and Nora's Extraordinary Playlist or whatever that book is called because they're almost the same title, but I actually have no idea. I just know this is a Christmas romance. It's kind of long, but I think it's going to be cute. Next, I have a couple holiday romances that I'm going to buddy read with some friends. So first I have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. I have been waiting forever to read this and my Barnes & Noble got it in, so I instantly bought a copy because I have, like, it's been a couple years that I've wanted to read it and it's so popular. Everybody talks about it online and I cannot wait to see why. And then if I love it, I can read the other books because there's like one for each season, I think, which is adorable. So I think this is definitely the book that I'm most excited about reading this December, and I definitely will get to it, like 100%. And then continuing with the Christmas books, I have The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman. I bought this one to buddy read as well. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think the title is pretty terrible, especially because reading the synopsis, it seems like the title doesn't even really have too much to do with what the story's about. And just seeing the title, I was kind of not interested, but it's set in New York City and it actually sounds kind of cute, so I picked it up and I'm hoping that it's a good time. Definitely will have to read it, find out, and let you guys know because I haven't heard anything about it. But again, I'm not too picky when it comes to those Christmas romances because a lot of them are really cheesy and not that great, so like it'll be a good time, I think, no matter what. There's few holiday romances that I've read that have like actually been awful, so it'll be fine. Next, we have A Court of Frost and Starlight. I actually can't believe that I'm saying I want to read this book because about halfway through Akamov, I was completely set on never finishing this series, but this one is really short. And I did like ACOWAR, like I said, so like why not continue and see what happens? Will I read A Court of Silver Flames? That is definitely up in the air, and I've heard not great things about this one, so I don't know, but I just figure since it's so short, I could give it a shot. And then I have a not Christmas book. I have one that I've actually been reading for quite some time. We have Light Lark by Alex Astor. I'm 100 pages into this one and I'm really not into it, and all the people that I was buddy reading it with have said it was not good and they've all finished. So like, this one's on my TBR, but I don't honestly know if I actually will finish it. If you've read it and you think I should, like, please DM me or comment below and like persuade me to finish it, because like I would like to understand why you think I should, because I rarely DNF books, but I'm really feeling that way right now. So if anybody has any strong opinions, please tell me right now. And then 2 more books, Christmas ones. First, we have The Santa Suit by Mary Kay Andrews, another one that I've had for a couple years. It's super short and it looks really sweet. I don't know much about it, but I think it'll just be a really fun Christmas read, and the cover is like so cute. I think it's gonna be really cute, super quick, and get me in the Christmas spirit. And the final book that I want to read is called So This Is Christmas by Tracy Andreen. This is a YA Christmas romance. I think this is the only YA one that I have. But I think it's gonna be cute. I got it last year, didn't get to read it. And I don't know anything about it, but it looks cute. Christmas trees, I think it's like set at a Christmas tree farm. No, I'm totally lying. It's not set at a Christmas tree farm, but it looks cute. So we'll see. YA Christmas romances never miss, except for a couple that I've read. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. So those are all the books that I want to read in December and the books that I read in November. it was a struggle in November, but I am really looking forward to seeing what I'm able to read in December. I have a lot of good ones on this list that I probably won't get to because I barely read lately, but we have high hopes, it's fine. So please let me know what your favorite book that you read in November was, or a book that you're looking forward to reading in December. As you know, I'm always looking for more books to read. If you want to be friends, all of my socials will be linked down below as always. And if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, feel free. That helps me so much. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so happy to be back filming for you guys and connecting with you again. Happy holidays to every single one of you. I hope you're having the best season, and I will see you in the next video.